So a couple of years ago, I talked to a guy about purchasing a truck from him. My daughter's friend's dad had this truck for sale, and not too sure why we couldn't put a deal together at the time, but we didn't. We couldn't. But a couple 3 years ago, we didn't quite get there. I don't know if he wasn't quite ready to sell. Maybe I wasn't quite ready to pay what he wanted, but this time he's ready to sell, and I'm willing to pay what he wanted. So I bought it. What did I buy? I'll show you. It's a 1967 Chevy C10. It's a short box, which I love. We'll get into the drivetrain after. I'm going to do a walk around first. We'll kind of get into it. What I really like about these trucks is they've always been popular. They've always been cool. They've always been in demand. When these trucks were new, they were cool. In the 70s, they were cool. In the 80s, they were cool. In the 90s, they were cool. And they're still cool today. Um, this one here comes to me out of Saskatchewan. It's 1967, so it has that 67, 68 only front end with the two slots there, and the Chevrolet across the hood. It's got that special 67, 68 only hood. 67 didn't have any side markers on it, front or back. So it's a 1 year only thing. Um, However, my 1 year only fender is not in the greatest of shape. She's cracked out up here. There's been Bondo down in here that's let go, and she's rusted through pretty good. Cracked out down here. Um, but you know what? I don't really care about that. It's a cool truck. It's got a nice set of rallies on it, 6 bolt rallies. Now, these 67 to 72 trucks never had those, not till the square bodies came out, and that was only on the 4x4s. But it looks great on these trucks. Really lends itself to it. Look here, above the windshield looks pretty good. Up in here, looks like we got some rust starting to develop. Hopefully it's not too bad. We'll get into that when we get into this project a little bit more. The rockers look good on the surface. Looks like this door is starting to let go in the corner, but that's okay. Not too worried about that. That mirror looks to me to be like a early to mid 90s Ford. Looks pretty good. The glass in this thing is all excellent. That's a bonus. Cab corners look great. The side of the box side looks like we got some work to do there. We got a crack up there. The rest of it looks okay. Tailgate's a different story. You see here along tailgate, looks like he had put some filler in there and she lifted out. He was telling me it did that almost immediately. We have a rear roll pan and these little bumperettes. These are solid steel. Looks pretty good. On this side of the box, this one's actually probably the best panel on the whole truck. It's in great shape. A little bit of cracking there. That's really about it. Inside the box itself, it looks like it had bed liner on it. This is a rough texture, and then painted yellow, and then painted black on top of that. Because this is not rock guard or bed liner. This is just black paint. And it's like the black paint just didn't adhere to the yellow paint. It's too bad, but it's true. Around on this side, you see this door got a nice crack there in the filler and cracked out around the lock. Again with the mirror, doesn't look bad, but I think we'll change that out to a factory style mirror. You see a lot of the black accents on here, here across the dash, kind of giving it a bumblebee kind of appearance. This fender looks pretty good. Looks like she got a bit of a war wound. Looks like a freshie too. That's okay. Got a French antenna. It's a power antenna. That's kind of neat. You don't see that too much these days. And then up front, of course, the roll pan, the bumperettes. Let me pop the hood for you. Actually, you know what? Let's continue on the body before we get into that. So, looking at the body, Like I bought this out of Province. It was in Regina, and I just bought it sight unseen. So you're kind of seeing the first real look at it with me now. I seen it when he dropped it off, but I didn't go through it like this. You can see here, this is a smooth transition to that rocker, and it should have a lip here on both sides, and it doesn't. It tells me this rocker has been replaced. Well, probably it's been replaced. Um, Maybe it's just been smoothed out. The chances are it's been replaced. We'll crawl under and have a look. Inside here, it's in pretty good shape. Um, Looks like he did his own door panels. Just vinyl wrapped the existing, I assume. Looks pretty good. Nice black armrest. Looks pretty good. Looks like a factory dash pad, not rewrapped. That looks good. These look like factory visors. They look pretty good. He said the carpet was new. It's a little faded, but it's newer. I believe him. Looks good. The ship actually comes out of a Mustang or something, he was telling me. That looks all right. It works. It's got an aftermarket tack bolted on down here. And the reason for that is because he's got this switch over here that runs with the transmission. Just kind of keep an eye on his RPMs. We have full gauges minus a tack, which means we have a battery gauge, so a voltmeter. We have a temperature gauge. We have oil pressure gauge. We have a fuel gauge, and then we have a speedometer. Looks pretty good. The windshield looks perfect. That's great. You guys want to investigate this rocker? Let's have a look. Oh, I'm getting too old and too fat for this. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So you can see this inner rocker looks like it's just a piece of metal, actually. And then it was welded up here and welded all the way along. And then looks like some patchwork up here. And it looks like new front floor supports and new rear floor support. Cap mounts look good. Yep, looks fine. And then under there's a peek at the transmission. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but that's actually a 700 R4, which is kind of nice. Exhaust looks pretty good. A little low, but that's okay. We can work with that. Let's go back up inside and take a look at that interior. Really just kind of want to take a look in the glove box, see if there's in a car you'll find a lot of the helpful handy hints in the trunk, but in a truck usually the glove box will give it away. Not really seeing any Papa Bear's tunes. Uh, some sort of a relay. Return spool carb. 9/16 wrench. A lock. A wallet. Two headlight switches. That's not comforting. Uh, so yeah, that's the problem with the headlights. You guys want to check the headlights with me? I kind of want to do it right now. All right, let's go take a look. What the hell? Headlights are on. Headlights are not on. Nuts. Okay. Uh, problem. Okay, let's the dimmer switch. Our headlights on. Headlights are on. So I think we have a bad dimmer switch. I can live with that. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Well, there you have it. That's the first. Oh, you know what? We haven't looked under the hood yet, have we? So I'm telling people. So I'm telling people I bought the cheapest 67 C10 in Canada. It's kind of a strong statement. I paid up on it. I paid $10,000 for this thing. That can that really be the cheapest C10 in Canada? When you factor in that it's a factory short box, that it runs and drives, insurable, drivable, got good tires, got good wheels. Under here we have a 396 big block. That's pretty good. We got headers. A 396 big block. You're probably thinking to yourself, did they make a 396 big block and a 67 Chevy C10? The answer is no, they didn't. In fact, this truck came off the assembly line as a 250 inline six and a three in the tree. You see that over there? That's a three in the tree steering column. So it came out pretty base. Then the man I bought it from, Jerry, actually has owned this thing since like 1979 or 1980. And he spent years fixing it up. He put power steering on it. Check that out. Put the big block in here. Put this fancy 700R4 transmission. Been rebuilt at a speed shop. It's supposed to be pretty good. But put power brakes on it. That's pretty awesome. Put this paint job on it himself. Did the bodywork and paint himself, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years ago. So give him a break. She's starting to let go. That's fine. It's going to last forever. Small window, 67 only. So yeah. So, did I really get the cheapest C10 in Canada? Depends how you look at it. Can you buy a cheaper 67 to 72 C10? Yeah, certainly you can. Can you buy a cheaper factory short box? Forget factory. Can you buy a cheaper short box? Big block? 700R4? Posi track? 342 rear end? I challenge you to. Show me where it is. I'll buy it. In fact, if you find me 10 of them, I'll buy all 10 of them. Not a problem. That's her, though. That's our truck. Did I do okay? Did I miss? Is this a bad buy? A good buy? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Because I think she's beautiful. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we can have some fun with this thing. In fact, I've already ordered a bunch of parts for it. I don't want to wreck it for you. So I'll tell you what, if you have any interest in this thing or interest in watching me try and do something with it, do me a favor, hit subscribe down below, hit like, hit comment, I don't know, and join me on this thing. It's going to be fun, or at least I think it's going to be fun anyway. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for hanging out this long. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate it. We'll talk to you on the next one.